te Māori e te whānau, ko Anna tōku ingoa, ko au te pirihi I te whare karakia o Hātou Petera. If we haven't met before, my name is Anna and I'm one of the priests at St. Peter's in Gonville. And good morning from my bubble to yours. I don't know what you're up to in your bubble, but my day holds attempting to do homeschool with my just turned 5-year-old. He literally had one day of school before we went into lockdown, and let's just say I have a whole new appreciation for people who do early childcare and teaching. My hat goes off to you. This time in lockdown has been a time of really great reflection for us. And one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is, we're here in this period of waiting. And someone helpfully pointed out to me that in the Bible, often the word waiting isn't this passive sort of just sitting back and reflecting and thinking, but it's a really active waiting. And so I've been trying to discern what might God have to say to us in this time? What might God be asking of me? And I think that what I've heard is just that God so longs to be active and for us to be growing in our relationship with Him and in the way that we speak about Him with others during the season of waiting. That God is still up to something and He wants us to be part of it. And one of the challenges I think we have is that there's so much content out there. If you're like us, you've been watching live streams, doing prayers over Zoom, maybe listening to podcasts. There's so much amazing content that we've been given. But it can just sort of sit up here and not really go any deeper because it's very passive sometimes when it's through a screen. We just become these consumers. And so I think the challenge for us is to figure out how do we actually grasp what God might be saying to us and actually allow it to shape us and grow us and transform us. And so I think there's two really key practices that you guys are probably already familiar with. The first is the Kairos circle, where we're asking ourselves, what is God saying to us and what are we going to do about it? And one of the things I've been challenging myself with is I actually need to do that every time I consume or listen or watch content about Jesus, because I want God to be at work in my life and among our community at this time, and that is dependent on me being open to what He might be saying. And then the second thing is something I picked up from this thing called the Discovery Bible Study Method, and it's who can I tell? And so in the season when we might be physically distant from one another, as the church we can't be socially distant, because that's so much about who we are as Christ's body, is that we are this beautiful interconnected whānau. And so my encouragement to you is whatever it is that God is saying to you, to figure out who you're going to share that with as well, so that it doesn't just stay something that's for you, but that actually we're able to exchange the good things that God is teaching us, and in that way that we're constantly growing together with one another, even in the season of waiting. And so, hope you have an amazing day. Kia pai tōra, ka kite.